And welcome back, welcome back. Our next guest is the CEO of Watchful Eye. Watch out, I'm watching you. She's going to speak about her organization and how it's mobilizing toward achieving their goals of elevating awareness of HIV in our community. So please welcome to the show, Dr. D. Bailey in the house.
Babe. Uh,
Doc, how are you?
oh, thank God, I am good.
Good. Did you enjoy the weekend? I know the holidays are upon us, and here we go. A lot of people
Yes, yes,
shopping, a lot of moving and shuffling.
yes. Great weekend, but we also had World AIDS Day Sunday this weekend, and what that meant
Yeah.
going from church to church, raising that
Oh,
message
that's
about
right. That
getting
was 2 weekends ago. Yeah. Okay, I got it.
right.
Yeah. So you were going from church to church at that time?
Yes, what we do is we coordinate with our different participating
Uh huh.
churches. And the one thing, if I can't get to all of them, as you know, Brooklyn is the borough of churches, so I couldn't
Yeah.
make them. But there was a consensus that the pastors would also raise awareness by mentioning HIV and AIDS and the significance of getting tested. And if you are positive, getting into care.
Yeah. Um, are we making progress with the things that are out there and with the things that you guys are doing?
Well, basically, I was going to say we've come a
A
very,
long
very
way.
way, a very long way, Dr. Bob. Even if you remember when I was with the National Black Leadership Commission on AIDS
Yeah.
back in the 90s, we were using media and everybody was coming together to raise awareness that HIV and AIDS was in the Black community.
Yeah.
We had to get past and conquer, but we've come a long way from there. Now people are just taking tests very simply at home, these at home tests and all of that.
Yeah.
But the education is not done properly. We're not finished making people understand what HIV and AIDS is. And so, therefore, yes, we've come a long way with medication and people in care. People are living, of course, longer. When I got involved, people were dying.
Right away.
When
It
they
seemed
found
like.
out they
Yeah.
were HIV positive, they also found out that they already had AIDS and they didn't live long after that based on
Yeah.
their condition. Now people are walking around every day, just like you and me, leading very healthy lives. We
Yeah.
had a member come before the AACEO, the African American Clergy and Elected Officials meeting on Friday.
Uh huh.
He was 37 years living with the virus and
Yeah.
telling his story because I wanted to show people that AIDS and HIV is not a death sentence anymore.
Right. So your organization, Watchful Eye, is testing. You got the outreach going on.
Yes.
You got the prevention.
Yes.
Talk about some of the initiatives that you're working with now.
Well, our Red Ribbon Revitalization Campaign is major. Why is it major? Because it's visual. You can see it. You can look at our ribbons, our 8 foot by 3 foot ribbons on the
Yeah.
streets of Brooklyn, Fulton Street, in front of the hospitals. Brookdale Hospital was one of our first hospitals to have a red ribbon right outside its door, right next door to the flag of the United States, letting everybody know in that community that HIV and AIDS is here. We're looking. We still don't have a cure, but we're encouraging people to get tested, get into care. And I tell you, the remarkable thing about the Red Ribbon Campaign is that it's not us having a media event putting a ribbon in front of that hospital, but
Yeah.
it's the work that goes into it before raising that ribbon up. It's the community meetings, it's the CBOs coming together, it's the churches coming together, it's the committee that comes together and says, no, we are going to embrace this. Anywhere you go, we are going to be talking about HIV and AIDS in this community. So the raising of the ribbon is the ultimate message to everyone that we are working together and
Yeah.
we are here.
And what can communities do, or what can media do to enhance what you're doing?
Well, the media always, as you know, and I don't have to say it, has always played a pivotal role in getting the message out. The
Hmm.
media, the same way when COVID struck, it was all over the media, everywhere. When Ebola struck, it was all over the media. Everybody was talking about it. HIV and AIDS needs to get back to that. It needs to let people know that AIDS is not over. HIV, because people are quieter, a little quieter. We're not quiet, of course, but people are living with it in silence. People don't want anybody to know. We're still fighting that same stigma of secret,
Yeah.
conducting secret around it. People not sharing with their family members, people not sharing with their young people. We have a speakers bureau, which is made up of very nice young people from middle school all the way through high school.
Yeah.
These young people work. These young people are participating in bands, steel bands, playing basketball, all kinds of things. And at the middle of their sessions, I had them at the Barclays Center. At the middle of their session, instead of them just bouncing around and having fun, they're standing in the middle of that court saying, get tested, know your status. It's a big, marvelous sentiment to have young people carrying the message of HIV and AIDS
Yeah.
and getting tested.
And what message would you like to convey to our community about protecting themselves against
I
HIV
just
and
want
AIDS?
to say to everyone, please, from I say from the elders all the way down to the children, HIV and AIDS is real. From the invention, and I don't have to tell all of you, of Viagra. We have
Viagra.
seniors that's
Yeah.
running around here, and they're not worried about dying because they're looking at themselves at an age where they don't have to worry about that. And not to say that they're just having sex. They're sharing needles because our seniors have medical and financial problems. And
Yeah.
in these places, people are sharing their little diabetes needles and so forth. We still have to practice telling people about HIV and AIDS and how you get it. We still have to go back to the old school messages of saying, don't share your needles, put a condom on. Number one, young people, you're not oblivious to HIV and AIDS because of your age.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of our old messages that I plan in 2025 to broadcast, to put, and if I can send them over out to our media folks to say, listen, let's come up with our own messages for our people and let's save our people. AIDS ain't over.
Yeah, but there's some success stories out there from your organization,
Yeah.
Watchful Eye. Let's
I,
talk about some of those things because,
I just wanted to
there's
tell
a
you
lot of help out there, and especially from your organization.
our major success story, believe it or not, had to do with the COVID epidemic.
Yeah.
Why were we such a success? Because we had been dealing with HIV and AIDS, discrimination,
Uh-huh.
people dying, bereavement counseling, all of that. We did that through the AIDS epidemic at its height. When COVID struck once again, here comes something that nobody understood. Here comes something that was taking people out. People were panicking. People were just in a state of mind. And when they reached out to the HIV AIDS advocates and said, help, we need help. We need help. We need you to go around to wherever the churches where people are gathering. We need for you to use those same skills that you use in Watchful Eye to help people get through the epidemic of AIDS. We need that same focus. We need you to help ease people's minds that the virus is controllable. At least they had a virus, a vaccination that they could give you for COVID. HIV and AIDS still don't have a cure.
To
But
this
we
day.
were the experts and we took the lead in fighting that COVID, and we did what we had to do. And people still talk about how they use the HIV AIDS advocates to fight the COVID epidemic.
Yeah. So we got to keep the pressure on, all right?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
Dr. Bob. And I thank you personally and professionally for you always making a statement and always standing up for our people and what's going on
Yes.
that's affecting us mostly. And you never shy back.
No, well, when you're out there, you see the people who are out there working in the community. People out there with their sleeves rolled up, just keeping that message going, no matter
Yes.
what it is, letting them know,
Right.
just standing
just
by
wanted
and
to
walking
say-
side by side with our community.
Yes, and one of our most things that I am so proud of is our elected officials, along with our churches, along with our community-based organizations. I have the pleasure of serving as the chief of operations for the African American Clergy and Elected Officials Coalition.
Yes.
But it's not just that name. It's the people involved, all the way from our own Democratic leader, Hakeem Jeffries, who serves as vice president, all the way down to our churches and our CBOs. We come together, and HIV and AIDS is at the top of that agenda.
Dr. D. Bailey in the house, thank you for all you do. We
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
you.
so much, and be well.
Are we going to see you in the community? Where are you going to be?
Absolutely. You can always catch up with Watchful Eye at 347-533-4300, or you can go on Facebook. We're out there. We're on the media. So please join in, help us. And in 2025, join that big network that we are coming together to say AIDS ain't over.
Watchful Eye.
Thank you.
Dr. D. Bailey, we appreciate you and thank you for all the wonderful work that you're doing in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great holiday season.
You too. All right. We'll take a break right here. More Open coming your way next.